Hello, it's Philip here from collectingmagicbooks.com. In this video I'm going to look at 6 magic history books, and I've picked these more or less at random, but I thought I'd pick ones that I personally particularly enjoy. So some of these are my own copies, so if they look like they've been read before, that's why. These are all in stock, as new copies obviously, at collectingmagicbooks.com in the history sections and in the biography sections on the site. So the first book I was going to look at is St George's Hall Behind the Scenes at England's Home of Mystery, which is by Anne Davenport and John Solis, and it was written I think about 15 years ago, maybe a bit longer, and it's a limited edition of 1,000, and it sort of takes the history, the whole history of the Maskelyne and Devant partnership. Well, although Devant was not strictly a partner, but in the public eyes he was, but also the Maskelyne family and their work at St George's Hall and their tours around that time as well. It's just brilliant. It's full of detail, it's full of colour, and it's really enjoyable. So that's available, collectingmagicbooks.com, and we've got those in stock, ready to ship. So that's book number 1. Here's another book. This has had a bit of an interesting life, this book, in that it was written and published, and then sadly the author, or the publisher, I forget which, died, and the books remained in storage for many years before being rediscovered. So these are, again, new copies, but of a book that was kind of frozen in time for a while. And this biography charts the amazing life of Lafayette and his sort of, famous and tragic death in Edinburgh. And sorry, not the camera there. And it is the biography of him. I think it's the best one, and it's just brilliant. I can't recommend it enough. And we have those available, again, new condition, but old stock as it were, but never issued, on the website. You'll be getting a bit of a theme of what I'm particularly interested in. These are all kind of golden age books. Most of them are kind of British connection, but this is one which is a bit more international. This is The Life and Mysteries of Anna Eva Fay, The Indescribable Phenomenon by Barry H. Wiley. And this charts the just fascinating history of this woman who began as a spiritualist in the kind of classic sense, and gradually moved into greater and greater fame and became well known for performing on the stage, doing spiritualism related effects and spirit cabinets and things, and had these wonderful lithographs produced of her. And it's just a brilliant story, and a really well written and researched book, very thorough and enjoyable to read. Yeah, so that's The Indescribable Phenomenon, The Life and Mysteries of Anna Eva Fay. Now, a quite recent release, I think this has been out for a couple of years, Century of Deception, which is not purely a magic book, although magic does feature a lot. There's the bottle, what's it called? The Bottle Harlequin? Anyway, I won't get distracted. It's a book about the hoaxes and weird stories and myths that ran around and were popular during the 18th century, such as the man who could climb into a bottle, and it also talks about how it related to politics of the time. And there's a lot of magic sort of adjacent things in here. Of course, it's written by a great magic historian and magician, Ian Keeble, and yeah, thoroughly recommend it. At the time that I'm making this video, I have this in perfect condition new, and we also have some new copies that are seconds, as it were, so they're ones that have got a little bash or a little mark, and they're a bit cheaper. So that's The Century of Deception by Ian Keeble. The penultimate book I'm going to show you is Lublaner's, it's kind of a coffee table book really, playing cards and photographs, and it's just a really wonderful book of well, literally that. So it is talking about playing cards in photographs and some of the history behind the photos, some of the history about what people are doing in there. There's not much magic in here, it's much more about games and gambling, but if you're interested in the history of playing cards and their cultural significance and how they've been viewed across cultures through time, it's a really interesting book. So yeah, not strictly magic history, but a great book, and I've just got a few of those in stock. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get them back when they're gone, so that's an interesting one. And finally, Matthew L. Tompkins' book, Spectacle of Illusion. Again, this is one which I believe is now out of print, but I do have some stock with me, still in the shop. And it's a really beautiful illustrated illustrated history, connecting magic, spiritualism, Houdini, and it was actually written to accompany the Wellcome Collection exhibition from a few years ago, which I was very lucky enough to be involved with, and to lend some bits and bobs for the exhibition. But this was actually written and photographed before the exhibition went out, so the contents in here is different from that which you'll have seen if you did go there. But it's got some wonderful masculine related things, and it's just fantastic. And again, it's one of these books that at the moment it's at its recommended retail price. I've got it in stock, but I think this is going to be out of print and it's going to quickly become a very collectible magic book, because of the likelihood that it won't be reprinted. But it may be reprinted, it may go into paperback, I don't know. So if it does, we'll have it in paperback. So that's just a really quick and fairly random. I've just grabbed a few magic books that I enjoy and that we stock here at Collecting Magic Books. There's tons of magic history. It's one of our main categories on the site. So if you go to collectingmagicbooks.com and click on the categories, you can see new magic history, old magic history, new biography, old biography, and there's just tons there to get your teeth into if you're interested in the history of our fascinating art. So that's all on collectingmagicbooks.com.